In this video, I am telling you exactly what to wear in London in spring. So whether you're wondering what to wear in London in March, what to wear in London in April, or even what to wear in London in May, this video is going to be the perfect London packing list for you. My spring London packing list is by far one of my most popular blog posts, so it is high time that I make a video version as well. I've been to London several times and I am confident in if I were to go back in spring, again, I would know exactly what to wear, and this list is exactly what I would pack. Of course, always check the forecast for your specific trip because the weather is never guaranteed in spring. It could be really cold and snowy, or you could luck out with warm weather. So we're gonna go into what to pack for those different conditions, but always check the forecast before your trip, before you pack, for your predicted temperatures and weather conditions. I do have my free downloadable day-by-day packing list that has the forecast on the packing list, so you can just check the forecast before you start packing, fill it out right on the packing list, and that way you super quickly and easily can know what you need to pack for what weather when you're packing. I swear by this packing list. I use it packing for all of my trips and definitely would use it for packing for London in the springtime. I will leave the link for you to download it for free in the description. I also have a variety of London and England and UK travel guides on my blog, so I'll link those below too. If you're looking for things to do and things to see, I will leave those in the description, of course, as well. As always. Now let's get into the spring London packing list. On average, the weather in London in spring runs pretty cold, pretty chilly, especially if you're going in March. Obviously, it warms up towards the end of May, where you might be able to delayer throughout the day. Midday, when the sun's out, you might be able to get by with a t-shirt, right? But for the most of springtime in London, you are going to want lots of layers. In March, London looks very chilly, foggy, rainy, and sometimes even you can get some snow flurries. And on average, it's very cold in London in March. And it's a wet cold there, not like snow freezing cold. It's a wet, rainy cold, which is very different and, in my opinion, even leaves you feeling more chilled than like a snow freezing dry cold, if that makes sense. So expect chilly, wet, cold. Then moving later in the springtime towards the end of April and May, things start to warm up, so you can definitely get by with less layers, as we'll talk about when we go into the individual spring London packing list essentials. But to give you a good preview, you can usually get by with less layers, thinner layers, long sleeve, long pants, instead of, bundling up like you would in the beginning of March. But remember as you're packing that it is always easier to delayer throughout the day if you get warm than it is to put on layers that you don't have. So definitely think warm when you're packing. Now let's get into those individual packing list items. First, you are definitely going to want to bring a coat when considering what to pack for London in spring. I understand why you might not want to bring a coat. They're heavy, hard to pack, you don't like wearing them on the plane. You feel like you maybe not need it because the forecast says 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but trust me, you will want to bring it. All of the locals, especially in the beginning of spring, will most likely be wearing full-length trench coats, woolish polyester type coats, and that is exactly what I wore in early spring in London, and I was by far the most warm and comfortable of my entire group. In fact, most of the other people that I was traveling with ended up having to buy a coat or buy extra layers because they were too cold. Number two is a scarf. Very similar to a coat, you want to be bundled up, especially if you're traveling in early March. This is one of those items that I did not pack and I wish I had, and I ended up buying one in a souvenir store that was probably ridiculously overpriced, but I was very thankful that I bought it because I was indeed chilled during my time in London in spring. And this is coming from someone who's from Wisconsin. I am from a very, very cold climate. So if you're coming from a warmer climate, you're gonna wanna pack even warmer, right? Like, I'm used to the cold. I actually do well in the cold, and I was chilled just because it was like a wet, rainy cold that just really easily makes you feel wet and cold and uncomfortable. Now, if you're going in later springtime, especially like end of April and May, you'll probably be able to get away without a scarf, but I wanted to mention it for those of you traveling in earlier spring or for those of you who have forecasted cold temperatures. Similarly, at number 3, you're going to want gloves and or mittens. This is, of course, another item that I did not pack, I learned the hard way so that you don't have to. I did not pack gloves or mittens for our springtime trip to London because I didn't think I would need them. Forecast said it was going to be 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I thought that was warm enough, and guess what? My hands were freezing. When you're in London, you're going to be walking around outside a lot. You're probably going to be taking public transportation that is not heated, and you're going to be spending a lot of time outside. It is very easy for your hands to get cold. So at the very least, make sure your coat has pockets, but even better, bring a pair of thin gloves or mittens. By the way, I do have a whole video with my travel essentials for cold weather that are really easily packable and that I swear by and bring on every cold trip. So you can watch that if you're interested in seeing all my packable cold weather gear. Moving on from the outerwear, by the way, hats I don't think are necessarily necessary. If it's raining, you may want a hood just to keep you dry. But if you are bundled up from neck down, you should be okay in springtime in London without a hat. Now, moving on from outerwear. Number 4 are sweaters. What you wear underneath your outerwear is arguably just as important as the warm clothes that you are layering on top. They should be working hard to keep you warm, which is why I keep saying throughout this video to pack layers. Sweaters, turtlenecks are my go-to for traveling around the UK in spring. And not only will sweaters keep you warm, but they'll also help you fit in with that local London style. I personally loved pairing this gray vest with a white blouse underneath. When I was in London this last time, I thought it looked really good in photos. I felt like I fit in with the locals because the locals there dress less casual than here in the States. So I really liked this outfit. You can recreate something like this of your own when you're packing. Number 5, speaking of this outfit, long sleeves and blouses are a great London essential, like a white button-up type sleeve that maybe isn't as warm as a thick sweater, but still provides some sleeve warmth and looks very classy too. Number 6, long pants. Shorts are pretty much a no-go. You can expect not to want to wear shorts ever in spring in London. If you're going at the end of May, you might get lucky with abnormally high temperatures for your trip, which is why you always check the weather before you pack. But the likelihood that you're going to be warm enough in shorts in the UK and in London in spring is pretty slim. And I know this because if you've seen my other UK and Ireland videos, I grew up in Ireland. I traveled the UK a lot as a kid. Not only have I been to London several times, but I also lived in that climate for a significant portion of my childhood. And we never wore shorts growing up there. Not because it's taboo to wear shorts there, right? But because it's too cold. So instead, bring long pants like trousers. Trousers are super popular there. Or even jeans, wide leg jeans would be fine. Again, they do tend to dress up a little bit more than here in the States, so think on the dressier side. That's why I try to opt for trousers or nice jeans when I am traveling across the pond. Number 7, you are definitely going to want warm, closed-toed walking shoes on your trip to London in spring because, like I said, you're going to be walking around a lot. If you're touring around London, you're going to be walking miles and miles and miles, so you're going to want to wear warm, comfortable, closed-toed walking shoes. My favorites to wear over in London would definitely be a pair of white tennis shoes that can match with a variety of outfits. My white Nike Air Maxes were always a good option, or my all white Hokas that I can dress up with my day outfit if I want to, but that are also very, very comfortable. And or I really like my Doc Marten boots. They look super classy. They fit in with that upscale fashion in London. But the caveat is that I would only wear them in London if they're already broken in. This is not the trip to break in your new Doc Martens. You do not want to risk any blisters or sore feet. If your Doc Marten chunky leather type boots are broken in at home first, then those would be a good option to wear in London. Keep in mind that rain is kind of inevitable in the springtime in the UK. So if you don't want to wear leather, your genuine leather boots, then that's something to consider. You probably won't be necessarily walking through big puddles, which is why I don't mind my shoes not being completely waterproof, but that is something to keep in mind. I wanted to add that in case you care about that. As for sandals, you can probably get away with sandals, particularly waterproof sandals, if that's what you're thinking about bringing, in the end of May, mid to the end of May, you could probably get away with those sandals. Otherwise, again, like shorts, I would probably just skip them altogether. You probably won't wear them and your feet will probably be cold. If you're going towards the end of May and the forecast is, I would say 70 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, then you could get away with sandals. Otherwise, you'll probably want closed-toed shoes. Number 8, socks. Of course, if you're wearing closed-toed shoes, you'll want socks. That one's pretty self-explanatory. I usually just bring some basic white socks and of course, underwear, bras, pajamas, all of those types of clothes as well, which should be on your packing list for London. Other than those, number 9, sunglasses. Even though it is chillier and typically rainier, you will still want sunglasses because when that sun shines, it shines bright. And when you're touring around the city, you're gonna be outside in the sunshine, and it just makes your eyesight a lot more comfortable to have sun protection. Number 10 is a lightweight backpack or fanny pack to bring on your days out. Again, like I said, you're going to be out and about pretty much the whole day, every day of your time in London if you plan on touring the city like a normal tourist would, which means you're probably going to spend very little time at your hotel and you'll want to have your camera, your phone, your portable charger, your sunglasses, your gloves, any snacks, etc. on you throughout the day, which is why I would definitely bring at least a small backpack or fanny pack or purse or something to keep all of those belongings in while you're outside of your hotel during the day. And lastly, it is not a bad idea to bring an umbrella when you're thinking about what to pack for London in spring. On average, London gets 1.2 inches of rain every single March in just March alone. And to be honest, you can pretty much count on any month in England, UK, Ireland area to be rainy. And the sun kind of comes as a surprise, a pleasant surprise in this region of the world. Although I don't think it's totally necessary to bring a raincoat and definitely not rain boots, but an umbrella can definitely be helpful. Travel size umbrella can definitely be useful on those rainy days to keep you dry. But if you have a long coat, if you have closed-toed shoes, you should be okay. An umbrella is probably all you need to cover your bases for staying dry there. And that is it. Now you know exactly what to wear in London in spring, no matter if you're going in March, April, May. I hope these ideas were really helpful. I do have an England packing list for any season as well, England in general, not just London, that I'll link in the description, as well as, like I said, all of my UK travel guides will be linked. Moral of the story, learn from my mistakes and dress warm, pack a lot of layers, and most of all, enjoy your trip to London. It is a wonderful city, and I hope you love it as much as I did. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. So for now, ciao.